In Tenkaichi 3 we clearly have many iconic special skills, the Kamehameha, the Masenko or good old gift bomb from Hercule, but without doubt there are special techniques in this game that you surely didn't know were that good to give you an advantage in a fight. So if you're interested, these are the 10 best techniques in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Can we reach 100 likes on this video? If you help me achieve it like in the last occasion, I promise to continue bringing more related content. That's the deal, so let's see the ranking. Number 10. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Omega Blaster. You're surely not the only one who is afraid of this Broly's technique, and the truth is that you should be, because if it reaches you in a short distance, you will get nothing but 16,000 points of damage. The frustrating thing is how easy it is to connect this technique at a medium distance, since it's unblockable, and unless your rival knows how to use the vanish at the right time, you will always hit him. Number 9. Father-Son Kamehameha. It's important that you keep in mind that not all of the techniques that we're going to mention in this video will be the ultimates of the characters, otherwise this video would be about the 10 best ultimates. We will also include basic techniques of the characters such as the standard rush attacks of the fighters or other energy waves with very peculiar properties, just for you to keep in mind. The issue with the very flashy ultimate of Young Gohan Super Saiyan 2 is that, as we know, it's completely unblockable and it does a damage of 16,000 points. That is a very remarkable amount by the standards of this game. Number 8. Android 17 Energy Ball. This is one of the examples that I referred to in the previous point, and while this is a technique not of the ultimate type, it has a damage of 8,000 points. It's not bad, but what makes this technique really unique is the tracking it has and how complicated it is to dodge. It turns out that this attack, being separated into two fragments, does not let the most experienced players dodge it as if it were a wave of common energy, because it has two separate hitboxes, and if the opponent manages to dodge the first one, the second will hit them anyway. It's almost impossible to miss this attack. Number 7. Android 13 Energy Ball. Another special skill that is not an ultimate, but this is simply the most difficult attack to dodge in the whole game in my opinion. Apart from it covering a massive range of space, it's a completely full screen technique, has infinite tracking and does full damage. In this example, you can see how no matter how far Goku gets away from the attack, it's going to chase him no matter what, and even Goku uses Wild Sense to try to dodge it, but he still appears again in a place that still covers the technique and the attack is successful anyway. It's a completely OP attack. Number 6. Brothers Kamehameha. The thing with this definitive attack is simple. It's an attack that has a lot of range and is completely unblockable, with properties similar to those of the Father-Son Kamehameha, with the difference that this technique does a little more damage. But be careful, because this may vary depending on the opponent you face. With characters like Broly, the damage may be greater, but if you face certain types of fighters, this may vary. Here in Tenkaichi 3, the characters have multipliers of damage received, the same that happens with the characters in the Demon Slayer game. Here I explained that there are characters who can come out more damage from an attack than others. Something similar happens here, but this ultimate, due to his great qualities, does serve to be in this position. Also, the version of this attack, but being executed by Goten, deals 1,500 points less of damage, so preferably do it with adult Gohan. Number 5. Gift Bomb from Hercule. Did you think the intro was a joke? This technique is perfect for trolls, but it's an infinite combo in which you can repeat an endless cycle to bring the gift bomb to your rival at the right time and have him spinning until you get tired. Because this technique only consumes 2 bars of ki, and while your opponent flies out due to the explosion, it gives you time to charge enough ki and get closer before he gets up to do the attack again and again. It's very abusive, but at the same time, it's a great mechanic. Number 4. Goku Spirit Bomb. With a damage of 16,320 points, it already classifies as one of the most damaging ultimates in the game, and for the simple fact that it's one of the definitive techniques that covers more area and with more scope of the game. Without mentioning that, like many others in the top, it's unblockable and it already deserves to be at least in the top 5. Besides, it's one of the most iconic techniques in the game. Number 3. Frieza's Nova Strike. This very peculiar skill of Frieza has a total of 10,000 damage, almost the same amount of damage that the ultimates of some characters in the game. But it also allows Frieza an attack with almost full screen range. You can manipulate it as you want, so you can give it the direction you want in case the rival tries to escape from it, and part of it makes you intangible to the vast majority of energy wave attacks, such as the Gallic Gun, the Big Bang, energy volleys, almost for everything, and at the same time it cancels the rival's attack. On many occasions the Nova Strike will hit them anyway. Number 2. Meet Goku Full Power Spirit Bomb. This is the definitive technique with the most damage in the whole game, but indirectly it's pretty conditional. Just for that, I don't leave it in the first place. It turns out, as many of you know, this average Goku has a special skill in which he gathers energy to do the Spirit Bomb just like he does in the series. It's a skill that takes a long time and consumes 2 units of special meter. You can do this a maximum of 3 times per combat. This means that when you launch this Goku's ultimate attack, the Spirit Bomb, you launch the most absolutely devastating attack you will ever see in your life. Those buffs that you gathered before boosts the Spirit Bomb in size and giving it a damage of almost 40,000, the greatest damage from a single attack in the entire game. It's awesome, but it's very conditional, since it's unlikely that playing against an experienced player you will be able to take the time to carry out these energy accumulations and that you will be able to hit the ultimate. That doesn't happen. Before going with the first place, as usual, here I will leave the honorable mentions. Android 19 Life Drainer. Android 20 Life Drainer. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Big Bang Kamehameha times 10. Number 1. Cell First Form Life Drainer. This seems to me, on my personal list, the most broken technique in the game. While it's an ultimate that can be blocked and acts like a rush attack, once you get it right, it allows you to attribute to yourself the damage you do to the rival. That is, these 10,000 points of damage, which are nothing spectacular for a definitive attack, but it transfers to your own life bar, which acts as a double benefit that is pretty broken. What's better than getting free health? You must keep in mind that it can also be a conditional technique, because if you do it against an android, they don't have ki, you will not receive life or energy from them. But it's not that bad. That's why I consider it the most powerful technique on the entire game. Remember guys, that as new reviews of the fighting games that we like so much arrive, new tops of these games will also arrive. Keep tuned to the channel so you don't miss anything. Thank you very much for getting to the end of this video. That was all for today. Take care and see ya.